Hi, everybody. This is Randy Hilarski. I'm coming at you from Panama City, Panama. Today, I'm going to take you through my winding path to freedom. This is my presentation I did at Anarchapuclo 2021, and it was a very emotional presentation for me, especially the first few minutes, because I hadn't seen my friends in months. You see, we were locked down here in Panama illegally for 7 months. We were in our house. We were barely allowed to go outside. We had about, personally, I had 2 hours twice a week where I could leave the house, and my hours were 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And I think my wife's were 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., something like that, 3 days a week. So it was really trying, especially with, at the time, Maximus was 2 years old. Couldn't go outside, couldn't use the pool, couldn't go for walks. It was really horrendous. So we escaped, made it to Mexico, got to present at Anarchapuclo. I thank my friend Jeff Berwick, Ed Bugos, Macy Tomlin, Luis Fernando Mises, anybody else who was involved with Anarchapuclo, who helped us get through the hard, trying times. So I'm going to get into the presentation. This presentation is for anybody who's interested in being a digital nomad, interested in expatriating from their country, traveling, just learning how to survive and manage their lives outside of their native country. Now, I've been doing this since I left the US in 2011, but that started long before. So I'm going to get into the presentation now. Okay, the winding path to freedom, the journey of digital nomads with Randy Hilarski. Why did I choose this path? Well, first and foremost, I have to take you back to 2008 during the financial collapse, which actually began a lot earlier than that. I was living in Tampa, Florida, and I was working as a mental health counselor / psych nurse at St. Joseph's Hospital. And beautiful place, absolutely beautiful. Wonderful staff, great place to work. Tampa was a great place to live, but Tampa was going through an absolute crisis. People were losing their homes left and right. People all around me were getting foreclosed. And my patients that were in the hospital, a lot of them were people who had just gone through this struggle of losing everything. When I first got to Tampa in 2006, everyone was high on easy money. They were refinancing their houses every 2 or 3 months, taking cash out, buying new cars. Mortgage brokers were making $50, $100, $200, $500,000 a month. It seemed like there's money everywhere, but it all came to a screeching halt. And because I was in the mental health field, I saw it up close and personal. I saw the attempted suicides. I saw the effect on families, and it really hurt my heart. So I read a book called Crash Proof by Peter Schiff. I'm not a big fan of Peter Schiff. I think he's a total asshole, but his book changed my life. It took me down the path of not trusting the financial system ever again. And shortly after that, Ron Paul ran for president, and I followed him, and I started learning about Austrian economics. I started learning about being sovereign, about not relying on government at all, getting into alternative monetary systems, which took me to gold and silver, and wonderful, a whole new journey, a path that I've been looking for years. So I grew fed up with the system. And I know a lot of people that felt the same way I do, and that was the time that a lot of this happened. I think 2009 was when Bitcoin was born, and those years were a pivotal time and transformation for many people who think like me, whether they be libertarians, voluntarists, agorists. I don't care what you are, as long as you don't think government's your savior, you and I could probably get along. So On top of that, I felt alone. I felt alone my whole life. I never felt like I had anybody that understood me. My mom understood me pretty well. My dad, he did too. But outside of my immediate family, I never really had anybody that really got me, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. You feel alone, man. So being the happy-go-lucky person I was, healthcare was right up my alley. I really liked mental health and helping other people when they were hurt. Maybe it was because I was never really happy myself, so I aimed to help other people, to help make them happy or improve their life, those kind of things. So years upon years went on like this. It really hit home when my brother went to Iraq. I was living with him in Tampa, and then he went to Iraq, and I struggled after that. He was gone, so I was alone in Tampa. I didn't know anybody. All of his friends were my friends, so you know how that goes. I wasn't very good at making. I was never really good at making new friends during that transition when I left the Navy in 1997, all the way up until 98 or so. It was really tough. So, not 1997, about 2008, it was really tough. So I felt alone, and I decided at this time to move back to Rochester, New York. This is 2008. After the financial crash, I had a little bit of savings, and I survived until I got a job. I left in September, moved back to Rochester. I think it was January. So I started working again at a car dealership for Volkswagen Mazda, and just kind of did nothing for 3 years. I bought a house, we fixed it up, we bought a foreclosure, just survived, right? The typical US thing. I was living in New York State, so I had very high taxes. I had your typical payroll taxes. You had your federal taxes, but because I was living in New York State, I also had my, whatever it's called, I can't remember, the tax that New York State has for your regular pay. And then on top of that, I had property tax. Rochester is, I think, number 2 or 3 in the United States for being highest taxed areas. So I really struggled. I mean, I think 60% of my paycheck at the end of the day was going towards taxes. And it hurt, just trying to survive, just living paycheck to paycheck, getting further and further behind, not knowing how I was going to catch up. I remember reading when my name was in the newspaper because I was behind in my income taxes, not my income taxes, my property taxes. I remember how embarrassed my father was and how much that hurt, but there was nothing I could do. When you're making just enough money to survive, it makes it tough. So that was one of the reasons why I left the U.S. I felt alone. I felt like I needed to start over. But before we go to that, let's talk about some of the other things that got me on this path. There was the call of entrepreneurship. When I was in the Navy, I think I was still in the Navy, or I had just left, I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So this had to be 98, probably 1998. And I came from a family of entrepreneurs. My family were chocolatiers for over 100 years. My family had a candy business, the Rochester Candy Company, I think that was the name of it. My dad was a chocolatier. My mom always had small side businesses. My grandfather was a roofer. It's just everybody in my family did their own thing. They always had their own sideshow where they made money besides their regular jobs. So it was in the blood, right? So I read this book and I realized, wow, God, this this is what I've been called to do my whole life. This is what I feel like. I know I'm an entrepreneur. I just don't know how to get there. So from 98 all the way up until the time I left the US in 2011, I tried everything. I used to go to the public markets on Sundays and sell bootleg jerseys. I tried network marketing. Anything I could do to make a little bit extra money, I would try it. And thanks to Robert Kiyosaki and all of his books, he gave me it kept the fire going. And back to the part about feeling lonely, I remember in my days working as a nurse in Rochester, New York, where the other staff, I just annoyed the hell out of them because all I talked about was getting out of the rat race, finding a way to make enough income where I didn't have to work so many hours. They used to call me greedy because I was the guy who worked 70 hours a week. Anytime there was an open shift or an extra shift, I'd be like, hey, I'll do it. Anytime someone said, hey, we'll pay you double time to work overnight, you want to do it? Yeah, I'll do it. I was that guy. And the other nurses, I don't know if they were envious or they just didn't like me. Maybe they thought I was an overachiever or something, but it wasn't because I was an overachiever. It's because I just wanted the extra income. I wanted to be able to do things, and I loved to travel. Travel was one of my bugs, and I always had to do it. So that takes me to the next section. I would go, my ex-wife was from Ethiopia. I go to regularly to Ethiopia. I went, I think four times. I spent about a total of 3 months there. Obviously, I traveled to Panama. I would go all over the U.S. I just love traveling. That was my thing. I go see my friends in Philadelphia or in New York or in D.C. And just anytime I felt like it, I would go because I always had the money when I was working in Rochester at the hospital, and when I was in Tampa because I worked so many hours. I didn't work like that later on, but when I was working as a nurse, that's how it worked. It was good money. And because I was lonely, I just struggled, and I would go find happiness somewhere else. So that led me on this path of being an expat digital nomad. And on top of that, I wanted to build a legacy for my future family. And now I know a lot of you guys feel the same way as me. Especially when you get a little bit older. When you're in your 20s, you're not thinking about these kind of things. But when you get a little bit older, you start to think about, who am I going to be thought of after I die? I don't know if you guys have watched the movie Coco. It's a Disney movie about the Day of the Dead, how the one character or people forget about people, and then in their afterlife they disappear. Over time, maybe the last person that remembers them, they die, and then their soul disappears from the afterlife, or whatever they call it in that movie. And to me, that's legacy. How long are you going to stick around? How long is your legacy going to stick around? Do you die and then a year later you're already forgotten? That's very sad, right? But what if your legacy could stick around for generations? That's pretty cool. So when I think of legacy, I'm not just thinking about finance. I'm just thinking about the cool things you did while you were alive that people remember you by. All right. So now we're getting into things that we need as an expatriate to strive. And the first thing we need is to have an income or a savings. Now, when I first decided to move here in 2011, I didn't have a lot of money. We'll get into that. But what I had was drive. And a lot of times, that's all you need. Now let's talk about types of digital nomad incomes. There's different kinds. So first, you can work remotely. And I know a lot of people who do this. They have their jobs. And their job says, hey, you can work from wherever you want. And then these people, the smart ones, expatriate, where their money goes a lot further. So for example, if you're in New York City and your salary is $6,000 a month, I'm just throwing a number out there, and they say, hey, you can work remotely, and it doesn't matter where you're working from, I don't know what, I'd be packing my bags immediately and I'd be heading to Mexico, right? Or head to Florida or Puerto Rico or Europe, somewhere where the lifestyle, that $6,000 can go much further. Go to Czech Republic, something, or just be a digital nomad and travel all over. That's what working remotely offers you. You just have to be somewhere that has really good internet. And another popular one is tutoring or teaching English. I see that a lot, especially in the Asian countries. Tutoring and the I can't remember what it's called, but teaching English as a second language, TSFL, that's what it is, TSFL. If you get into that, it doesn't pay a lot, but if you go to China or Japan, those kind of countries, you can make a decent living. Korea. I've never been attracted to moving to Asia. It's never been on my radar, but I know a lot of people have, and they made a good living tutoring or teaching English in those countries. Now, third one is online marketing or affiliate marketing. This is not one that you're going to be able to start overnight and you're going to be successful. You're going to have to be self-taught. You're going to have to take courses. You're going to have to watch videos. It could take you maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years before you have enough income where you can expatriate. It's not an overnight success. All right, just being straightforward with you there. Online marketing is what we do, along with social media. So I know the hurdles it takes to be successful in that market. Affiliate marketing, you're going to have a chunk of change, some money to help you build your audience in affiliate marketing. Now, the next one is web development, websites, graphic design, social media. This is also what we did in the beginning, building websites. Anna was a graphic designer, self-taught, and I was a social media guy, self-taught. So it does not take long to learn these. What takes time is finding the clients. So web development's a little bit harder. Building websites is getting easier and easier. You can build a good website using basic tools in about 2 days now, and you can probably charge $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, depending how in depth it is, how many pages it has. So you can just do a couple a month, but you got to find the clients. Graphic design, you can do that on Fiverr, those kind of websites where you can do the micro jobs. And then there's actually people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just doing these basic things. What a lot of them do is, I'll give you a little tip here, is they get going and then they start finding other graphic designers that aren't very well known, who don't have the audience. And then they bring in the work, you bring in the work and you sell your work to these other people. So you have a circle, a team that you can hire, they do the work, and you go out and you do the marketing to bring in the work, and you let them do it and you just take a portion. So that's very popular. I know that here in Panama, there was a bunch of people that had family and friends in Venezuela, and they had a marketing agency here in Panama, and all the work was done in Venezuela, where the cost of living is much lower. So, for example, if somebody wanted a graphic done, they'd charge $50 for the graphic, and they'd pay the person in Venezuela $10, but the $40 was kept here in Panama. So, and the person in Venezuela was super happy, and so was the person here in Panama, because obviously the cost of living here is much, much higher than it is in Venezuela. So you can build a team. Same thing with social media. You don't have to do it yourself, even though our business, we do it ourselves. We're hands-on. But I know if you build a team, you could have teams in Philippines, Venezuela for Spanish speakers. I don't hire Americans to to help us with things because they're too expensive, right? There'd be nothing left on the table for us. So we hire people from other countries, and that's how you make it profitable. All right. Next is live streaming. Travel blogger, fashion blogger. Guys, we all know these people. If you're on YouTube, you're watching these people who do these beautiful travel videos. They're going to Europe and Asia, and Dubai, those kind of things, and staying in really nice hotels. Those are the travel bloggers. They're making a decent living. You got the fashion bloggers who they get contracts with these brands, and they go whether it's makeup or hats, sneakers, I don't care what it is, and they make money that way. And you can make decent money. Yeah, the fashion bloggers, you might have to be really good looking or something like that, or have some kind of really good audience, maybe on Instagram or TikTok. You might have to have a large audience. Those folks, it's not my thing. So follow some of them and learn from them if you want to. Travel bloggers, there's people that are out there that'll have a course that'll help you learn how to be a travel blogger. Live streaming is a whole other realm that is turning into something very profitable. You could actually stream 2 to 3 hours a day, and people can give you tips via YouTube, Twitch, some of these other places, and you could have a nice income coming in. In the beginning, it might not be a lot, but it can grow to a significant amount. I'm telling you, a significant amount. If you're a gamer, you could just live stream your games. If you're in crypto, you could live stream about crypto. And sooner or later, you get to a point where you're going to make enough income to live off of. All right. Another one is health and wellness, yoga, personal trainers. You can do it all online. I've got a couple of friends who are personal trainers who are part of an app. I don't even know what the name of the app is, but they get their clients and they manage the personal training over the app. They're not even in the same country. I'm a little bit chunky. So all my friends that are personal training are contacting me and say, hey, Randy, can I be your personal trainer? And they all mention this app, and then I can go work with them through the app. Pretty cool service, It's somebody that you can be accountable to, that type of thing. It was pretty expensive. I think they charge like $1,500 a month. All you need is, I know in Mexico, money counts is just some of the ones I thought. So I haven't written dinner. These cruises funny. These are things that a lot of people right now they're offering the ability to live overseas. Okay, let's talk about the tools. What do you need to be successful? A computer with a good GPU. I have this beautiful Asus Predator. Got a Core i7. It's got a nice GPU in it. It works great, guys. I could live stream. I could edit videos. It's called the Predator Helios 300. I think it was only $1,300. Wonderful computer. I love it. Super fast. Get something that is you can take anywhere. That's not too big and powerful, and you can use it for editing. For those of you who are digital nomads, most of you are going to end up having to edit videos, do live streams, make content. You're going to want something that's pretty powerful with a GPU. All right. You're also going to want a camera, whether it be a GoPro or what I use, the Dji Pocket 2. I think in the US, these are about $500. Turn it on. Yeah. All right. Turn around. This is what I use to record. So if you see me doing my rooftop musings about crypto, this is what I'm using. It's a really powerful tool. You can take it anywhere and it fits in your pocket. That's why they call it the Dji Pocket 2. It's got its little case, stick it right in my pocket. 1080p, it even does 4K videos. If you are a travel blogger, you don't want to have to carry some big camera. I'm going to give you guys a tip right now. there's a lot of people that are doing travel blogging. They feel like they have to have these, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 cameras. There's a risk to that. I've seen people get their cameras taken in certain airports, robbed, because those are very high quality, expensive pieces of equipment. So I think it's better to go with something like this, where if it gets stolen, it's not the end of the world. If you're traveling like that, you can afford to buy a new one for $500. And the video quality is still wonderful. 1080p, guys, you don't have to go. People think they have to spend $10,000 to get going. They have to have all the best equipment. No, they don't. Like, look at me right now. You're watching this. I'm using this microphone. My nice blue, the one I had was stolen when we were in Mexico. So I bought this one when we were there, and there's some nice little backup. I know the sound isn't perfect. I'm also in a practically empty room, so my sound isn't that good. But it doesn't take much for you to get going and start helping people and teaching them and doing live streams and making content. All right. So I just want to say that you don't have to spend lots of money to get going. And then I have 2 ring lights here, one on each side, just to record with. I think the whole setup, so you got a $1,300 computer, you got a $30 mic. I think each of these ring lights are about $20. So, 70. This is 500 in the US, so we're looking at 6. So under $2,000 total is what I have spent on all of my equipment that I'm using at this current moment, bringing this to you. All right, so it's not like you need to go have a brand new MacBook that costs $2,000 by itself, and a Sony camera that costs $3,000 or $4,000, right? You don't need all those things. Just let you know. Okay. Image editing tools. Now, these are great. So check out Canva. My wife loves Canva. It gives you lots of templates to use. I do recommend getting the paid version because it has lots of cool things to offer. So if maybe you're doing Facebook ads for clients, well, they got lots of Facebook ad templates to use. Or Twitter, for things for Twitter and for Pinterest. Well, it depends on what you're doing, right? Every platform has its benefits. Another one is Picmonkey. We use Picmonkey. We pay for the monthly as well for that one. And I've been using it since we launched, or since we started doing our business. I think it was 2012. Picmonkey is amazing. Anna used to do graphic work for clients, and she used to charge $500 for 100 images. And she'd sit there for a week making 100 images for these clients using Picmonkey. It was phenomenal. And they would pay her $500. So Picmonkey has more than paid us back compared to what we spend on this. I think it might be $13 a month, something like that. Or you could pay for the whole year, and it might be $80 or something like that. So I think we pay about $80 a year. Another one is Pixteller. Pixteller has some really good things too. Now, video editing software. This is always question people have. What should I use? Do I have to use Adobe Premiere? No, you don't. I have Movavi. I buy Movavi. I don't even know what it costs. I think it was $80 for the brand new Movavi 21 that I loaded to this computer. It works great. So if you just want some basic editing, just use something like Movavi. You don't need to have a Mac. You don't need to go out and buy Adobe After Effects or anything like that, unless you want to dive down and start learning how to do some insane editing. Most of what you need is going to be there with just something like Movavi. See, Movavi. I don't have that typed in there, but that's what I use. All right. Live streaming software. What I'm using right at this current time to bring this to you is something called StreamYard. This is a wonderful tool for live streaming. And I'll have all the links below so you can get in, use all these tools. StreamYard is super powerful. I'm using a StreamYard in its non-streaming version at the current moment. So I set up a new stream. I chose record only. So I can use all the tools of StreamYard just like I'm streaming, but I'm just recording it for myself, and then I can edit it afterwards before I publish it. Or you do you could stream right inside StreamYard to YouTube or Twitch, wherever else you want to stream to. All right. Streaming upcoming, I'd probably be using more and more of Odyssey. I'm a crypto guy, so I want to support crypto platforms. So I think I'm going to be moving a lot of my streaming content to Odyssey. Now, the next one is Zoom. Sorry. Zoom is pretty easy to use. Teachers are using it. It's getting a little bit big for its britches, so it does have some issues sometimes. But if you have the paid version, you should be fine. My friends at Cultivate Crypto, they just recently had a course on crypto, and they had, I think it was, I don't know, 600 students, something like that. 600 students live on a Zoom. So all these people were in chat and everybody was watching, and they had me come in and I got to talk about how I got into crypto and all that. And they used Zoom. I thought it was so powerful that you could have a class with so many students in one room. It blew me away. So check out Zoom. Now, social media channels for marketing. People ask me, oh, Randy, where should I be? What channel should I use? Well, for me, my main focus is social crypto. So in crypto, it's mostly Twitter, YouTube, and then all the crypto social media channels. Odyssey, Steam, Hive, Apex when they come back out, they're relaunching. I use Float. So I use a lot of channels a lot of you guys don't use because I'm mostly in crypto. And my community tends to be more anarchist, voluntarist. So they're not going to be on the big, they don't care about Facebook. They don't really care about LinkedIn. I have those platforms, but I just don't use them as much. You go where your audience is. If your audience is millennials and it's a fun audience, then maybe TikTok's for you. If your audience is more about news and current events and shit talking, maybe Twitter is for you. So you go where your audience is. It's just how it is. Pick a couple main platforms and stick to them. You know, if you're talking about interior design and, you know, those kind of things, then Pinterest is probably the best place for you. Find it, stick to it, build it, and your clients will find you. And I do recommend you do have a website. Everyone should have a website, a basic website telling about who you are, what you're doing, or what your company is, what your business offers, those kind of things. The crypto social media tip is really important. One of the aspects that we discussed was needing to make money. If you want to make money online and you don't know how, a good place to start is at crypto social media. We made a shit ton of money in 2016, 2017, 2018 using a platform called Steemit. Steemit was phenomenal. Make a post, make a blog post, make an image, make a video. Our friends would vote us up, and we'd end up making anywhere from $10 to $300 for that post. And a couple days later, you could take out half, and the other half would stay there until you decided to take it out. Great way to make money. Even my mom was doing it. Hive offers that now too. Hive blog. Like I said, down below, I'll have all these links. Odyssey, which is used to be called Library, LBRY. Odyssey for videos and blog posts. You can make money just by posting your content to these places. Apex, when they relaunch, they're getting ready to relaunch. They're like Instagram, and you post and we vote for each other and you make money. Every post I made, I used to post once or twice a day, would make between $4 and $10. I know it sounds insane. Yes, you can do social media and you can make money doing social media. You can make a full-time living doing social media. So imagine having 4 or 5, 6 of these platforms, and each platform you're making $10 to $20 a day. Adds up quick, folks. So that's my crypto social tip. Now, what is your why? This is a picture of my son, Maximus. That is his real face. He is now 3.5. This picture was, he must have been about just under 2 years old at the time. Actually, right at 2. And he's an amazing little guy, and we're not going to have any more children. So what we do is for him, and we want him to have start off with an amazing life. So we work hard, Annabelle and I, to provide him a wonderful space to live in, and hopefully that he won't have a tough life. And so far he hasn't, and we're going to keep it that way. What about the money, Randy? Getting paid. All right, first and foremost, you have to decide how you're going to get paid in your business. Personally, we are mostly crypto. So clients pay us in crypto, and we do the jobs. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, because crypto is very volatile. So if I decide to tell a client, look, there's 2 ways you can do it with crypto. You have to pay me a certain amount of this coin every month, or you pay me a certain amount of this coin in dollars per month. So say you have a client that they pay you $1,000 per month in their coin. Well, they pay you, today's the 31st, so tomorrow's the 1st. They pay me on the 1st. A week later, that coin has dropped by 80%. It happens in crypto. So then I'm underwater, and I have to wait until the market corrects and goes back up. Or I might have to wait a year or 2 years, or sometimes these coins go to zero. I had one that took 2 years to recover. It was painful. I worked really hard on that coin and for that company, and they paid me the coins. It was supposed to be a nice chunk of change, and because I was part of the founders team, I had 2 tranches of the tokens, and I had to wait 12 months to get the first one and another 12 months to get the second one. Well, by the time that happened, the coin was worthless. Seriously. So I never got what I expected to get out of the token. But then the bull market came back, they started improving, and I ended up getting about half of what I was hoping to get paid. So somebody's going by with a sport bike. So sometimes you risk when you do it like that. The more secure way of doing it is getting paid in a certain dollar value. Say you want $1,000 worth of coin a month, and then you sell it when you get it if you want. That's the very secure way. And for new people who maybe don't have the financial means, that's the better way to go. Or just ask to get paid in Ethereum or Bitcoin or USD, USDC, USDT. PayPal works great for me. I've had PayPal since 1999, 2000. I don't know, some long. I don't know. It's been a long time. Maybe 2004. It seems like ages. Going back to when I first joined eBay, and I set up an account, and I've had a PayPal account ever since. Unlike a lot of other people, I've never been banned from PayPal. I've never had trouble. So I've continued. I've got a nice PayPal debit card that whenever we get paid, I can go to the ATM. So I recommend you check out PayPal. Cash App is really good for those of you who are paid in crypto. Cash App is also good for those of you in the US who want to buy crypto. If you're in Europe, Revolut. I'm not sure. I heard some changes happen in Revolut. So if you're in Europe, check for yourself. Sorry, guys, I'm losing my voice here. Also get a mobile crypto hot wallet for small amounts. I'm not going to give you any recommendations. You guys got to figure that out on your own. But having a wallet on your phone is always really nice. Keep $100, $200 worth of crypto there. You can show new people about crypto, or just you might come across somebody that wants to get paid. You never know. I might get lucky and have a landlord like we have that accepts crypto. MetaMask for Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. I love MetaMask. Set it up on other applications. You can have it Chrome, you can have it on Brave, Mozilla, Firefox, those kind of things. You could put your MetaMask wallet on. You can use an Exodus wallet for Bitcoin, Ethereum, those kinds of wallets that you have on your desktop. They work well too. So that's how you get paid. Oh, and we always get paid a month ahead. I jumped myself here. Rules that will protect you. Ask to be paid a month ahead. In this space, until you are really big, say that you're like for me, for example, if I was an agency and I had 100 clients, we could invoice them at the end of the month, and then they would pay us. And then I'd have to hire somebody that their job was to chase the money. Well, I don't like chasing money. So what I do is I charge a month ahead. So we got burnt a couple times. We're in Panama. There's a term we call the juego vivo here, the game of life, where if a person has a chance to screw you, they're going to screw you. So we always get paid ahead of time. Always. All right. For projects, make sure you get secure partial payment for the projects, at least enough to cover your expenses for that project. You don't want to be caught holding the bag, because it happens, guys. People will back out. They'll get wishy-washy, and they're like, oh, I don't have the money. I ran out. Bitcoin market went down. Believe me, every excuse in the book. So as an anarchist, should say a voluntarist, and people don't like that word anarchist, but as a voluntarist, we choose to work without contracts. So it makes our life much easier. I tell every single one of my clients from the beginning that if at any time I no longer want to work with you, I'm going to tell you, and the next month we will no longer be doing business. The same holds true for the client. If they don't want to work with us, no hard feelings, we will move forward and stop working together. Since I've been in crypto, since I've been doing this, we've had over probably close to 50 clients now since 2012. And at this current time, we have 4. So that means we've had 46 clients go through our business that we no longer work with. And that's normal. Especially my business. We were launching projects. So projects that are brand new come to us. They say, Randy, Anna, can you guys help us launch our project? We're like, yeah, sure. So we work with them for 3-4 months. They pay us and we move on. That's just the nature of our business. But other people are going to have, if you're doing social media for a client, maybe you work for a company for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe you have a coffee shop as a client, they're paying you $400 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it may be. And you keep going with that client. Those aren't the kind of clients we have. We had about a bunch of those early on in our business in 2012, 2013, before we got into crypto. But ever since we got into crypto, most of them, they want to, I don't want to say use us, but a lot of clients need our help, right? They need the Hilarskis to help, to get that little shock to bring in some attention, to help them grow their business. So that's why our clients tend to be short-term. All right. And always deliver. Your reputation precedes you and word travels fast. We have no problem finding clients. Never have. And I hope that nobody out there is talking bad about us. I'm sure there are, because there's people that don't like me. But people come to us because they know we get the job done, and they know we have the contacts. We know that, we do a good job for Dollar Vigilante, who's been our client for going back 4 years. They know that we do our work and we show up and we deliver. So we never have a problem finding clients. So always deliver. If you don't, you will not last in this digital nomad space. Here's some of our clients. There's way more than this, but I just put in some of the pictures. We've worked with Connect Financial, who just recently launched. They're a Visa credit card, first crypto credit card, not debit card, crypto credit card. So Connect is doing great. We're not working with them any longer, but I worked with them for a couple months. Aurochs, current client. They're a competitor to TradingView. Fabulous. Use it. It's free to use. It'll help for those of you who trade or just want to find entry points to buy their crypto. Great product. Epic Cash, which is a privacy coin. We did their launch. We lasted with them for about 8 months. Steam It, we were actually on the team. We didn't just do the launch. We were actually on the Steam team for about a year. And absolutely loved it. Went to all 3 Steam Fests before Steam pretty much had a meltdown in 2019. Maybe it was 2020 that they melted down. I don't know. It was bad, whatever happened, and that's how Hive was born. So, we loved working with Steam. That was wonderful. Dollar Vigilante, who we currently work with still, Jeff Berwick, Ed Bugos, wonderful team. Library, or now it's called Odyssey. We helped them launch LBRY Latam, Latin American branch of Library. Once again, great team. We love Odyssey Library. Like I said, I'm going to start streaming to Odyssey soon. That's my audience, the kind of people I like, so I'm going to stream there. Flash Coins, we worked with them all the way up until the end of 2017, and then the coin went crazy. It went crazy like a week after I left. It went nuts. We left at, I think it was a penny, and it went to 23 cents just days after we left. It was nuts. I was like, hey, see what happens when I leave? Bitgreen, who I just let go. Like I said, no contracts. I left them. We had those guys for about a year, liked them. Just didn't work out. Crypto Daily, they weren't paying us, but they allowed me to write on their platform, which is a Google News website. So all my articles got lots of views because I was publishing on Crypto Daily. Recently, our new client is Polis, P-O-L-I-S. They're a BSC coin. They're on BSC. So you'll start seeing some content from me about Polis. Looking very exciting for them. So I was happy to join the team. If you'd like to connect with us, Twitter, Library, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, it's all at Randy Hilarski, at Annabelle Hilarski. So I want to thank everybody. If you're watching this, it's been a wonderful 12 years. Or sorry, not 12 years. I moved here May 4th of 2011, so 10 years since I left the U.S. It's gone by so fast. And would I have it any other way? No. I moved to Panama with $3,000 in my pocket. $3,000. And I survived. And I made the best of it. And I've had a great time. And would I have done things different? Nah, I don't think so. It all turned out the way it was supposed to. Hannah and I have had our rough times when it came to finances. I mean, the first 2 years of our marriage, we struggled just like every other marriage does. But we worked long hours, 12-hour days, building our audience on Google Plus and on Facebook and on Twitter. And the results show. So now we have a very successful business, and being patient has paid off. You can see up there in the corner, that's our ASOP logo. ASOP Social is our platform that we are launching soon. It's going to be a social media platform that's going to help people build up their audiences, build up their views, their tweets with real users helping them. It's going to be an app that you're going to just have on your phone, and you're going to be able to earn money in crypto, and you're going to be able to bring in clients that have campaigns, and you'll be able to earn some nice income from it. So get ready. ASOP is coming. The app is almost done. It's been a 3-year labor of love. We want to do this to help everybody get the kind of audience that we've built over the years. I think everyone deserves to have what we've had. And if you want to put yourself to work and make some money, ASOP's going to be for you, and we're going to be there with you every step of the way. So once again, thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, feel free. I'll have all the links of all the products and websites and everything that we use down below. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.